So the Venn diagrams with the circles that overlap, we did it first day of school with the, meet your classmates activity. Now we're just gonna do some more math. So guess what? There's more symbols in vocabulary, which is a lot of what geometry is. So the first one, there's only two here. The first one is union, which conveniently is a big letter U. U for union. And I don't understand why it's blurry. There we go. Okay, I guess if I keep my hand there, it'll be okay. All right, so union includes all the categories. So it's everything, all of the circles. Which makes sense. You're unioning it together, so it's everything. Oh, do you want to know? Sorry. All right, intersection. It's an upside down U, so it goes the other way. Oh, what's that? No, it will look like this. It looks like the U flipped upside down. I guess it kind of looks like an N, sort of. I don't understand why this is being blurry. It's really frustrating me. The way you can kind of remember that one, don't write it this way, but you know how a capital A looks like that? Like just without the cross on it? Kind of looks like if you think of a capital A, which like the word and, it's this and this. But that's going to be the overlap between categories. So that's where they intersect. That's why it's called an intersection. So U is union, that's everything. The upside down U, which I guess it kind of looks like an N, I would more think of it like an A for the word and. It's this and this, so they overlap. That's really all that is. So in this Venn diagram, if you shade A union B, it's going to be everything. So it's A, B, and where they overlap. So it's all the categories. But not the outsides of the circle. We don't want that part. Just the categories themselves. And where do you think we would shade for the intersection? So it's going to be like the inside part. Yeah, like the overlap. So it's where both at the same time. So yeah, like we'll make up an example. This is people that like vanilla. This is people that like chocolate. The overlap would be people who what? Yeah, like vanilla and chocolate, like a swirl. Yeah, like both of them. Okay. So let's flip over, and we're going to actually put some numbers into it. Okay. So what this means is 7 people have a dog, or I guess, yeah, have a dog. 11 people have just a cat, and 3 people have what? Both. Okay. And 12 people have neither. Okay. So how many people have dogs? A little tricky. It actually is 10. These people have just a dog, but do these 3 people have a dog? They just also have a cat, but the question just said how many people. Oh, no, wait, I'm sorry. I read it wrong. I apologize. I'm sorry. Forget I just said that. It does say how many people only have a dog. So I'm sorry. 7 was correct. I apologize. How many people only have a dog would be 7. If it just said how many people have a dog, then it would be what? Then it would be 10. Okay, cool. I'm sorry. I misspoke. I apologize. So this one, how many people have a cat? That one doesn't say only. It just says have a cat. So good. 11 plus 3, which is 14. Good job, guys. Perfect. You persevered even though I messed it up. I'm so sorry. All right. This is union. So that is the whole everything. So all of the circles. So it's going to be 7 plus 3 plus 11, which would be 21. Good. And then this one is the intersection, which would just be the overlap. So just 3. So the U is union, and the upside down U is intersection. So that's like vocabulary. That's just another symbol that you have to know. But U is union, so that makes sense. It's like logical. All right, how many people do not have a dog or a cat? Yeah, 12. That's the 12 that are outside of the bubbles. Now, how many people were surveyed in total? So you would have those 12 that have no pet, Yeah, plus, oh, some of you are adding it like in your head. But basically, it's every single number, what's inside the categories and outside. So, wait, hold on. We said 22, 30, yeah, 33. Sorry, I'm trying to add it in my head. Good job. Nice. You did that before I could even say it. All right, now we're going to use this one over here. People who enjoy summer, people who enjoy winter, people who enjoy both. We'll do a real quick poll of you guys. Who likes summer only? Oh, okay. Who likes winter only? Ooh, those are my people. I'm from Pittsburgh. I like the cold. All right. And who likes both? Okay, cool. Nobody liked summer only. Interesting. I thought everybody was going to say they liked the summer. All right. If there were 35 people surveyed in total, how many people did not enjoy either of them? Basically, we want that number that goes outside. So what we're going to do is add these up. So if you add up the 10 plus the 5, yeah, perfect, plus the 7, that's going to give you, what, 22? So that's 22 inside of all the categories. How could you get that number that would be outside? Yeah, so 35 minus 22, which would be 13. Cool, good, that went well. Venn diagrams are not all that hard. I really kind of like them. So we're going to do most of this together, and then I'll just have you do a quick couple of questions for your exit tickets. A really easy day. Do you guys still say slight? That used to be the slight day. Okay, slight day. Right? Oh, oops, that's my one that has all the answers in. Yeah, yeah. All right, so we're looking at this one over here. We have A, R, and S. So we want to shade in here. Let's read. Diagram represents a set of geometric shapes. A is shapes that have equal angle measures. So that's this one. I'm going to write equal angles for that one. So A is equal angles. Ms. Cole, do I have to do that? Technically, no, but I like to label so that I know what I'm talking about because I'll forget what each letter stands for if I don't write it. So because it's not like required work, but it helps you do the problem. All right, S, so that's this other bigger circle, shapes that have at least 4 sides. So I'm going to write 4 sides next to that one. It's just like a note to self, like what each thing is, right? And then R is shapes that have at least 1 right angle. So I'm just going to write right angle next to that one. And again, you're just giving yourself a note, like, hey, this is what each of these stand for. Right? So we want to shade in where, I'm just reading, I know this is a lot of words on the paper that you have to read through. We're going to shade in where we have an equal angle measure. Is that A, R, or S? Equal angle measure. It's A, or we want A, and, so it's an intersection, at least 4 sides. So is that S or R? So you want the intersection between A and S. Is R even playing a part in this? No, basically try to ignore the R circle. That's just noise, okay? You want intersection between A and S. So that is going to be this part. You basically pretend R isn't even there. Correct. We're pretending R doesn't exist. Just pretend that circle's not even there. We want the intersection between A and S. Every single, yeah, R can be in there. We don't care about R. Basically, you're ignoring it. It can be in there. But you want intersection between A. Just pretend it's only those 2 circles. That's it. That's a good question. I'm glad you guys all had that. Yeah, pretend that the R circle isn't even there. Okay? All right, this one, we're going to make our own Venn diagram. So go ahead and draw yourself a big old rectangle. And I'm doing a little bit of art here. With all of the following statements. So it says rectangles, trapezoids, rhombuses are all quadrilaterals. So our big rectangle here is quadrilaterals. I wrote the whole word. You can abbreviate it quad. You can abbreviate it Q if you want. It's your Venn diagram, but I wrote out the whole word because I'm kind of doing this in front of everybody. But do you see how this one was labeled geometric shapes? Like we have a label for the whole thing, okay? So now we're going to put some circles inside of it. It says some rectangles are rhombuses. Does that mean they're going to overlap? Yeah, it says some rectangles are rhombuses, so those are going to overlap. So draw yourself two circles that overlap. Yeah, does anyone know what a rhombus is? Yeah, it's like a diamond. It's like a square, but like not right angles. Yeah, yeah. All right, so we're going to call this one rectangles and this one rhombuses. Those would be hard to abbreviate because they would both be R. So you kind of have to write out the word for that. But rectangles and rhombuses. And they overlap because it says some rectangles are rhombuses. So obviously overlap there. The next two statements we're going to kind of do together. It says no rhombuses are trapezoids. So should they overlap? No. And it says also no rectangles are trapezoids. So should they overlap? No. No. So trapezoids are going to kind of live over here by themselves with no overlap with the other circles. And I'm going to just abbreviate it trap. You could even just put T. So abbreviate them. But no overlap with those ones. All right, here we've got a big old Venn diagram. We're going to write in words, not going to have to write a whole lot, but a couple of words, to describe what each circle is. So let's look at circle A. Try to only look at A. I covered up everything else. What do you notice is the same about all of those shapes in A? Triangles. Good job. Circle A is triangles. Nice job. So all you got to do is notice what's the same about them. They're all triangles. So circle A is triangles. All right, circle B. I'm going to cover up all of this. This one's a little tougher, but yeah, you're trying to find what's the same about everything in circle B. Go ahead. I think, no, that one's a triangle, so go ahead. They all have a right angle in them, at least one, okay? So they all have a right angle. My handwriting is not very good today, sorry. Struggling. They all have a right angle. And then we want to do circle C, so I'm going to cover up everything else. They all have. Do you see the, oh, do you want to give it a shot? Go ahead. Equal sides. Do you see the little tick marks in them? Oh, what does equal mean in geometry? Begins with a C. Perfect. They all have congruent sides. But we'll just go ahead and write equal sides. All right, now these are the overlaps. These are the intersections. Shape 2 is an overlap between A and C. So A was triangles, so it's triangle and what was C? Equal sides, good. So it's a triangle and equal sides, which the word for that is equilateral. We'll talk more about that later. Cool, this is going good. All right, shape 3, where's 3? Is right here. All right, so that's the overlap between which two? A and B. Okay, so it's triangle and what else? Yeah, right angle. So it's a right triangle. So triangle and right angle. It's a right triangle. And then shape 5, which is right here, it's a square. It's the overlap between, yeah, B and C. So right angle and equal sides, which is a square. So right angle and equal sides. Good job. That picture looked kind of complicated. We're going to start filling this out together on the other side, and then the 1, 2, 3, and 4 is going to be your exit ticket classwork. I know 4 questions, super hard. Okay, I know it's not hard at all. All right, first thing we're going to do is draw a big old rectangle around this so that we have the whole thing boxed in. And I'm going to kind of start at the bottom and work my way back. Okay, So we're looking at students that did 3 things: hung out with friends, traveled, and worked a job. Oh, so actually, first we have to label the circles before we do anything else. So hung out with friends, let's just call that friends. So label one circle friends. What would another circle? Job, and then travel. Yep. You have to know which one is which. And if you wanted to do F, J, and T, that's fine if you want to abbreviate, but you have to know which one's which. So they have to be labeled. If there's no labels, then you don't know. Everything is crazy. We don't know what's happening. All right, so I'm going to start at the bottom and work my way back. It says 0 students did all 3 things. So where am I going to put a 0? That'd be the intersection of all 3. We are going to get a number on the outside, so hold on to that, though. But that's going to be the overlap. All right, 23 worked and hung out with friends. So friends and worked a job, that's going to go, yep, where they overlap. Yeah, in the middle of those 2. So 23 will go there. And again, I'm just working my way backwards here. 12 students traveled and were with their friends. So yeah, where the travel and friends overlap, yeah, in the middle of those 2. So 12 would go there. All right. It says 6 students traveled and worked a job. So 6, yeah, we go on the other overlap. You got to start in the middle and work your way out. Okay. Now I may need to do some subtracting here. I've got my calculator up in case I need to, type anything in real quick. It says 43 students worked a job. So watch me point to this. I don't really have a better explanation than, hey, look, here's the circle for job. I want everything in there to add up to 43. Do you see that there? So how can I get what goes in this part? I would take 43 and subtract 23 and 6. Okay, so 43 minus 23 will be 20, minus 6 would be 14. I would actually do math there. All right, 63 students hung out with friends. So if I cover all this up, the friends circle should add up to 63. So how could I get what's in this last part there? 3 and then minus 1. Okay, cool. So let's talk right through that. 63 minus 23 be 40, minus 12 would be 28. All right. 20 students traveled. So I'm going to cover all this up. 20 students traveled. So that circle should add up to 20. So 20 minus 12 would be 8, and then minus 6 would be 2. Now hold on, we have one more number to fill in, which would be like the number on the outside of all of this. Okay, now I probably will grab a calculator here. How many people were surveyed, bless you, like total? So I'm going to type in the calculator 94 minus all of those. Okay, if you want to try and do it in your head, you can, but I'm going to just type it in because I don't want to mess it up. Is anyone trying to do it in their head? I'll give you. I wouldn't even try. It's 9. I put a little box around that. You can or not. The 9 can just float out there. So what you're going to do, and I'm going to make it available on Schoology, is you're going to do those 4, enter your answers on Schoology, and that's your exit ticket, okay? Oops.